preview of things to come. So tomorrow, you're going to see this because we're going to talk about a very powerful word. It's called transformation. Say transformation. That's tomorrow. Now, it's already happening in your life if you didn't know that. But yeah, how many of you know, like when the preacher gets up and says something, or your youth pastor or whatever, they get up and say something, you're like, well, why did they say that? Because it's in the Bible, usually. So if you turn to James chapter 4, James chapter 4, and we'll start with verse 1. We're going to read the Bible together for a second. You did come to church camp. So you're like, why are they always reading the Bible? Because this isn't the YMCA. You know what I'm saying? This is church camp. You're supposed to read the Bible. If we didn't read the Bible, you would say, what kind of church camp is that? And that's what people say about us sometimes. What kind of Christian is that? What kind of believer is that? What kind of disciple is that? Because they question, if we're supposed to be something, then we have to be it. Not the kind of thing that they think or TV tells, because that ain't what it is. That ain't even accurate. But the authentic version, the real deal. So we're going to read this together. Donald, come up here and help me real quick. I want you to read this, and I'll stop you right when you get to it. Start with verse 1 in chapter 4 and read it real quick.
What causes fights and quarrels among you? Don't they come from your desire that battle within you? You want something, but you don't get it. You kill and covet, but you cannot have what you want. You quarrel and fight. You do not have because you do not ask God.
Okay. Everyone reads this in church. Have you ever wondered where something comes from? This is a letter. This is a written letter from James. He's the brother of Jesus Christ. He's wrote this book. He's the brother of Jesus Christ. And a lot of times, have you ever thought of it? How hard was it to be Jesus' brother? Kind of rough, don't you think? I mean, like, you follow, how many of you got a superstar brother or sister? You're like, I am the superstar. Right. Okay, whatever. I'm sorry I asked. The truth is, you follow somebody that's great, you're like, sometimes you can despise him. Jesus is embarrassing the family. And so James, after Jesus revealed who he really was, James became one of the most powerful believers in the Bible. That's a pretty big, awesome thing. Because you know what? All along, he sat in the back. All along, he was like, dude, don't say that. His friends would go, how come you didn't say that? And you're like, I don't know, man. My half-brother, whatever, I don't know what he said. But he was embarrassed. I guarantee he was embarrassed. When someone starts serving God in your family, it sometimes embarrasses your family. But after the while, Jesus was powerful. And James, man, he said, I missed a lot of things in my life. He said this, he says this, he goes, we fight a lot. And what do we fight over? I didn't get what she got. And sometimes we're mad at God for it. Sometimes we're mad at each other for it. We covet. That means we desire what someone else has. If someone has really cool shoes, we're like, he thinks he's so hot. He says, those shoes. I want to take those shoes and throw them in the lake. That's why we do throw people in the lake. We're like, I hate that shirt. It looks so cool, and that's not mine, so I'm going to throw that stuff in the lake and just ruin that shirt. You know you think that way. And there's a lot of fights and quarrels because we all feel like, for me to get something, I have to take it from somebody else. But that's not how God works. Then he says it. He says, my brother taught me something. He says, you have not because you ask not. I wasn't going to say this today, but we talked about it in the staff ourselves. That was just a little staff thing. But then God's like, if they don't ask, they're never going to get what I want to give them. So we think prayer is always petition or asking God, but the truth is, right after praise, you don't even really have to pray. You just say, God, would you give me this? You come to church, you come to camp. I had some people come up to me last night, very bold young people. Because they come up to a scary guy like me, like, well, what's he like? He's kind of weird anyway. What's he going to do to me? I don't want him to do anything, just say hi, stay over there. And so the truth is, they came up to me and they said, would you pray for my mom and dad? Would you pray for my brother? Would you pray that God... I mean, they did some bold things. And you know why I prayed for that? Because when they asked that, we don't have because we don't ask. We act like God doesn't want to give. Okay, check this out. You need to remember this picture in your mind. somewhere in the outer space, somewhere in the cosmos, somewhere in the universe, God owns all the stars in the sky. He made this little rock right here too called Earth. He owns them all. He made them all. He created them all. He spoke them. Man, that's powerful speaking. He spoke the word. You know, the scientists today, they said that they discovered that rocks have sound in it. They discovered that everything created has sound waves in it. Listen, have you ever seen, like, they put a glass there and a singer will hit a certain note and the vibrations of that note is in that glass and it'll explode that glass? They do that, and people have done that. I mean, like, I've tried it, but it didn't work for me, but I don't know. The pitch isn't very good. That just tells I'm not a singer, and that's what it tells. No wonder I'm a wrestler, because singing was not my gift. And so you sit there and you see that, and you're like, but they said that all those vibrations are in there. Why? It's a testimony of the fact that God spoke it, because when you speak, it's vibration. It's vibration. It goes into your eardrum and it vibrates your eardrum and it hits against the little hammer and the anvil. They're not just the thing that they're inside your brain too. You know, you study science. And then it goes inside your brain and hits your brainwaves and it communicates sound by vibration. Everything has it in it. So technically, the rocks are like little recording devices, they say. They said, if we could unlock the rocks, check this out. If we could unlock the rocks, then it would record history. It would show things throughout time. So when I heard that a few years back, I started being careful what I said. Because I lived in Arizona, I thought, if I say a bunch of bad stuff in my backyard and they take these rocks, Arizona's all rocks, dude. You got some rocks here too. I was down there by some rocks. There's those kind of rocks in Arizona with no trees and no water and no cold. 110 degrees, hot. But there's a lot of sand and rocks. But what if we could unlock the rocks? You know, the minute, you better pray that never happens. Because if it does, I'm going to come over and dig up some rocks in your backyards, and I'm going to go, what did she say about me? Click. What? You said that? Well, come over and, I mean, like that, because you know, man, you do a lot of talking out there. You're like whispering, and the rocks are going, got you, I recorded you. I wonder if that's true. I mean, it kind of freaked me out after a bit, because this world is deeper than we know. Now listen, if that's true and God's that important, then somewhere He's built this place, a planet, a whole planet. And on that planet is cities. And in the cities are warehouses. Huge warehouses. And in the warehouses, like they have in Vancouver, those kind of warehouses. Not this. This is not a warehouse. This is a barn turned into a chapel. I'm talking about warehouses, multi-level stories with those big forklifts driving, and there are cool jobs. I would wreck everything, but I have played around on a forklift before, but no one wants me doing it, because when you get real high and it's rocking and then I drop like thousands of dollars worth of stuff, but it's so fun to drive them. You just want to crash into somebody. That's what you really want to do. Like, I wonder how hard this little thing will hit. That's how you feel. And so you get the forklifts, you're driving around there. They're loading those boxes that come on the big boats and they unload. They're loading them down. And you're in this city, in this warehouse, and it all has your name on it. Just this one whole planet, one city, all the warehouse is just your name. Just your name. So it's your city, Matt. It's Matt City. The city of Matt. The planet of Matt. That's kind of crazy. And all the stuff in there says, and everything in it is yours. It's what we don't understand, because we think, for me to have my stuff, I have to fight you for it. There's only so much stuff. There's only so much gold in the Yukon. And I have to get my pan, my dredge, my boat, my vacuum. I have to go get it and beat out those other guys and get on TV. I would really love that. Be on the Gold Show. I watch the Gold Show. I'm sorry, I'm like addicted. I'm a stupid American. I'm watching the show like, oh God, maybe I could go to Alaska and just get in there and drown, eaten by a shark, trying to get gold. I know I'm tragic. What I am would be tragic. I'd be down on the bottom, buried. And somebody would be like, where is that idiot? Oh, he was trying to get gold. He's from Arizona. He don't even know the water, but he's out there. He's going to get gold. He's gold head. And so the thing is, we sit there and we look at that. All that is this. And then it says this. All that is yours. It wouldn't take from anyone else. You don't have to fight over it or take it. You're never going to run out. It's your whole planet. And guess what it says? Sad story. You'll never have it. God made it all for you. When you go, God, could could you take care of me? He doesn't go, oh my God, we got to create something for him. He's like, I have it. I have it right here. I've been waiting for you to ask. I know your whole life before you were born. I have it planned. But we never ask. We come to church sick and we go, maybe I'll learn something from being sick. You know, been sick before, wasn't very good, but maybe God wants me to be sick. The Bible says that God wants me to prosper and be in health, but not me. Maybe for me He's doing a special thing, that's for everybody else. And for me, is I want you to prosper and be in health, except for you, you're going to be sick. Okay? That's how we feel. Instead of saying, I'm sick, and the reality is I'm sick, and it happens. But I never ask. I never ask Him. I feel like, well, I asked once. Dude, I never asked my dad once. When I wanted 20 bucks, I kept asking. I annoyed the poor man. I was like, hey, Dad. I did the sad eyes. Other kids have money, but I don't. I did it like, remember when I cleaned the house 20 years ago? Remember when I cleaned the dog poop out of the yard? That's a big dog, too. Heck, Dad. 20 bucks, it's all. You know how you do? But when God, we don't ask Him. We said, hey, God, you want to give? Oh, never mind. That's it. God's like, you're here. Ask me. Last night we told a story about All In, and I didn't finish the story on purpose, so I'd be able to come back today and just remember the Eli Manning story. Well, the reason I told the story is because it worked. I know you guys are hockey people, but you have to go over to America. You guys, you're big in football too, but you're so big in hockey, you almost like discount the rest of the sports. It's like, Canada invented hockey, we own hockey. America's got just as much pride. They go, we invented football. That's not really true. Both countries have both. But they have to have an idiot attitude. Like, I want something that's only mine and the rest of the world stole it. The truth is, it's an awesome sport and everybody wants to play it. Some little kid in the inner city of New York's like, I want to play hockey. And guess where he wants to go? Canada. I want to play hockey for Canada. Now, you're not going to like me at all. I'm going to tell you straight up. I like the Calgary Flames. I'm sorry. I kept it from Jackie, and I know he's an attitude. He's got a big old punch. So I just stated what the truth is. I'm sorry. But that, you know what? I didn't know you. I like the Calgary Flames. I like them. I like watch them. I like them to beat the Coyotes in Phoenix. When I lived in Phoenix, I would go watch them and go, didn't even make the playoffs. Yeah, Flames. And the Coyotes are like, what the heck, dude? Aren't you from Phoenix? Not right now. Calgary, man. Right now, we're trying to win. So the same thing is, check this guys out. Every chapel they had from that day on for the rest of that year, this year, every chapel they had, they brought their chips. They started giving them other people and they'd say, we're all in, we're all in, we're all in. They won the Super Bowl. Right before the Super Bowl they went. Halftime they came and went, let's go win this thing. They attributed it to a commitment. They attributed the win to a little guy who came and taught a lesson from high school, teacher, on poetry. You can learn off each other. You can ask God for stuff. Oh, Dylan? Remember the Dylan story? Dylan, he runs a halfway house for kids now. Yeah, he's a stud, man. I'm so proud of Dylan. He is a stud. He runs a halfway house for the hardcore kids, and you know what I love? I love to go there and watch him cuss at him and yell at him, because that's how he made me feel, and I'm like, he's feeling that way every day now. It's beautiful, and he's changed their lives, and they're crying and praying and asking God to save them. First they cuss him, and I kind of feel bad. I'm like, I hope they put you through hell like you did me. And then at the same time, I hope they all are transformed. See, not all stories end good, but the ones I'm telling here end good because I want your story to end good. Oh yeah, I've lost people along the way. I think about it every day. But the ones you win will be with you forever. And there's a principle that we use, and I think it's going to take up the rest of our time because we really don't have that much time. We took 20 minutes in the front of the service and then worship, and all of it's perfect. I mean, for me, we could be here all day, but we can't. We got other things. We're doing it. I like the whole camp. I like the whole experience. I like to see you sweat. I like to see people's shoulders just get dislocated. And that's what we're going to do. The Bible says, give honor to people who deserve it. Anthony, I want to tell you something. Could you come here a second? Could you stand on the stage? Because I'm going to step right down there. I want you to be on the stage for a minute. I want to talk to you for a second. I want to tell you something. When I look at people, I mean, I didn't know you from nothing, man. I come to the camp. I don't know who I've been experiencing. I was praying for you going, I don't know their faces. I don't know. I don't have an attitude yet. I don't know. I'm just praying for people. And praying, I'm saying, man, God, what kind of people am I going to see there? And so I start thinking, what do they have? What is this group of young people called the Yukon? That's kind of a scary word. It's not like a fairy word, you know what I mean? It's like the Yukon. It's like, oh God. Because it scares a city guy. You're like, okay, are the trees gonna eat me? Is there what's out there? I mean, I'm not even imagining being lost out there. I'd be lost forever. Somebody'd be finding a naked white man running through there. Because I'm not from there, but if I took you to the city, you would be the scared one. You'd have gangsters popping. I'd be going, hey, what's up, man? Stop it. Lighten up. Okay, see? And you'd be going, oh, God, yeah. It's just like your element scares me. I would love to scare the heck out of you in my city. Take you there, and I would set them up. Okay, we're coming. Do extra hardcore. I mean, it's just anything. I would love that. But the truth is, I started thinking, what do we got? And then I saw you the other day. You know what you bring to the table? You know what man, every youth group would like an Anthony. Yeah. I want an Anthony on my team. I'm going to look for me one. I think that's pretty cool. You were a stud. I love that. I love an animal. I love there's some beast inside. I knew there was going to be some. And the other day, man, you had your shoulder dislocated. I'm a wrestler, dude. This knee has been over here. This ankle has been up here. No kidding. This shoulder, this sternum has been busted straight up down the center. Ribs separated. Do you know the pain in that? Okay, you were in pain. And you were like this. I would have been going, oh my God! I mean, you're just like all cool. All cool. The courage you show, man, you make a leader want to lead you. They're like, come over here. Be on my team. You're like a Michael Jordan, #1 draft pick. I want that boy. Put him on my team. That's how you feel because you have courage. Dude, if you would have saw him, his shoulder's out. So Rob's inventing the Yukon concoction. I don't know what it is. I mean, I was kind of worried about this. Like, I wonder how those people get by when there's like a bad tragedy. Like they sew each other up and stuff. I think it might be true. Because that's what was my fear of you. Like in our city, we immediately call an ambulance. But calling an ambulance here is like, see you in about 3 hours. Well, that ain't gonna work. You know what I mean? I mean, like a helicopter, an hour and a half. I'm gonna die in like 12 minutes. An hour and a half, forget it, man. Just put me in the river. And somebody would. Don't ever say that here. You say that, they're like, okay, here he goes, he's drowned. I mean, like, you can't, I don't trust you guys, honestly. I'm like, heck no. I stay around my team going, you know, these guys are a little crazy right here. And so, but the thing is, your courage was amazing. You should have saw him. He's standing there, and Ron goes, okay, we're praying for him. They come and get me out of the kitchen. I'm working in the kitchen with Jackie and the sharks. I'm working with the sharks. I'm cleaning plates. It's a very important job. I'm very, very good at it. I just want you to know, if there's an award for cleaning plates, I am in the running. So if you're a plate, you better work at it. I'm going after you. I want the trophy. And so you're the same way. You're like, man, it's the plate trophy. It's a broken plate with your name on it. That's all you get. But it doesn't matter. They don't care what a trophy looks like. You go home and you go, see that? I showed the Yukon how to clean. It's a powerful bragging right. It doesn't really matter. Don't get your own broken plate and put your name on it. I know how some of you guys are. But Anthony, listen. You bend over. He said, bend over this thing. So there's a rail right here. So he bends over, and this is his arm. It's like all jacked up. And so they go, hold this bucket. And you know what he does? We're praying for him, and I'm like right here. Here's where I'm standing. I'm looking at his face, and man, he has such a resolution on his face. Like, okay, it's Rob, dude. I'm looking at Rob going, what? Hold on. All right. And he's like, okay. And he reaches down and he holds the thing, and then Rob goes, now put the other hand on there. And he goes, oh, jeez. Do you know the pain? I mean, like, I'd be going, heck no, call the ambulance, dude, that's it, I told you. I'm suing, that's it. It'll be over. But he doesn't do any of that. Here's what he does. He holds it, he reaches down with his arm. That means he has to trust somebody. I would be so careful to lead you. If you're going to trust me that good, I sure don't want to mess you up. I sure wouldn't want you to trust me in times that you should. There's times I go, I don't know if we should do this, but you want to try because I don't trust, because you're too honest. You're too courageous. The courage in him, he reaches down and he grabs this bucket. And then they say, kind of lean up, get your stomach up there a little. Rob is like so analytical. I'm like, get your stomach up. I'm like, he's going, okay. I'd be going, would you leave me be? I haven't shouldered this. But he doesn't do any of the things I would do. He's 10 times stronger than me. He bends over, and he holds that thing, and he's sitting there. Man, you know he's in pain. He's sitting there, and he's not crying. I'm like almost crying for him. And he goes like this. And it pops in. Oh, I've felt that pop before. I'm at the doctor. Don't touch it, my knee's over here, don't touch it. Oh, thank God. And he had that same thing. It's like instant, the pain's like, and he goes, oh. He did a little jig. He was ready, dude. He was ready. Anthony, that is so awesome. I want you to know, you showed us something. That story is so powerful. And you really can't tell your own story. So I told it for you, because you didn't tell my story. But that's why we're together. Because what you bring to the table in this camp is championship material. Love it. You said you wanted, when I said, I'm going to do this for Anthony, you go, I got somebody in mind. I want to tell something that someone brings to the table. Go.
All right, let me see. Brandon, come up here. Oh, look at you. You're like, oh, no, what are you doing here now? He had no idea. Yeah, you don't like this. I love that. That's why I love it. Man, Brandon, when people see you, they see your heart. Your heart for people, your love for people. You're a servant. You have a servant's heart, a heart like Jesus. But here's the thing I think some people are missing, and this is some of the things that I see. From that heart for people that you have, and just your joy and everything like that, Brandon, you're a leader. And I know it's like, you're like, whoa, hold on, I'm a kid. You're a leader. God has appointed you to be a leader amongst leaders. And by that heart, by that character, by how you live your life, your integrity, I'm serious. You're going to lead and influence so many people. God's put a mandate on your life. It's on you. Oh, you saw it right there. But I want you to know that. I want you to know that we see that. I want you to know that God sees that when He created you, He put that inside of you. That love, that joy, that servant's heart, that's what's going to maintain your leadership. But He's going to do a lot of things through your life and use you for some incredible things. Not just to throw me in the lake and don't worry, I'll get you back. You hear me? Ever hear that? I'll get you back. But to change this world. Beyond your town and village, but to change this world, I see that. And I want you to know that, okay?
Dude, I want to come back. I want to go beluga whale hunting with him. Look, he's going to be teaching the fool of fools. This boy ain't never been beluga whale hunting, so I'll probably fall out of the boat and get eaten by a squid or something. Fernando, you got somebody? Okay, I love doing this, and you know what? Keep the time. Are you watching the time for me? Keep the time. We're staying on time today. That's why we kind of weighed what we were going to do, because this is more important than what we would have said. It really is.
Right? Terrence, come here. Terrence, I've been able to talk to you, and God just gave you a powerful word, but whenever I look at you, man, I see a guy that has been marked by the Master Jesus Christ in all your ways, in the way that you project yourself, in the way that you act, in the way that you do every day. You're disciplined, you're humble, you have something in you that is powerful. And you know what God is happening to you? God is equipping you for what God has for you. He needs people like you. You know what? Because you are able to reach somebody that I'm not able to reach. Just being yourself, just being who you are. You know, you have an amazing heart for people. You love people. And you know whose heart is that? God's heart. God's heart is for people. He died for people because He loved us. And that's the heart that God has given you. And that's the same heart that God is going to use to reach many people. And you know how you're going to reach them? Being yourself. That heart for your friends that you are praying so hard, you are the one that God is going to use to reach them. And not just them, but there will be just the first one. And that is going to encourage you. That is going to show you who you are in God. And you'll be able to reach not just your friends. I believe that you're going to reach your friends, your family, your community, and you're going to be a leader. Just a powerful leader, because you have an amazing heart that God is going to use for good and His kingdom.
Parents, awesome. Chelsea, come up here. We haven't done any girls, so you better we need to bring them up, because there's a powerful group of women in this house.
Yeah! Awesome. Okay, where's my girl Haley? Haley. Oh my gosh, you're so great. Like, when I look at you, it's just, I'm like, oh, this girl. Okay. So the other night, let me tell you all a story. I was sitting here. It was during the altar call. I was just sitting here, just like this, and I was praying. I was like, God, if you want me to pray for someone, just bring them to me. Just let your will be done. And then I get this little tap on my shoulder, and it's Haley. And I'm like, yeah. And then she's crying. She's like, I don't know why I'm coming up here, but I feel like I need to be prayed for. I feel like you need to pray for me. And I was like, that's awesome. And then we started praying for her, and I started praying for her and stuff, and then she got filled with the Holy Spirit. She got filled with the Spirit of God. And Haley, what I want to tell you is that heart, that obedient heart, that open heart for God is powerful. Sometimes it takes a lot of us a long time to learn that, but it was like instant. And you know what? God's going to use you. God's going to use you to speak, like what I was praying for you. God's going to use you to speak to girls. He's going to use you in your obedient heart, because He knows that you're obedient now. Now He's going to be able to use you. And that is an amazing thing. Don't lose that. You're going to do great. God has great things planned for you and in store for you.
We have 15 minutes. So in the next 15 minutes, I just need like 2 or 3 minutes at the end. But I think there's some directors in this room that you say, I got some kids that I want to say something about because they're bringing something to the table. See, when I say you bring something to the table, you might not know what people see in you. But man, I've seen a lot. I go to a lot of camps and youth groups, but I'm pretty amazed by the group of people that sit in this room. So are there any leaders here? They say, I want to say something. Z, could you give me the mic for a second? I got a young man or a young lady. Come on. So cool. Dude, the camp nurse is amazing too. She was there for the healing process of Anthony.
Hey, I just want to call Joy up. Joy, I just wanted to
just bring you up here and just tell you how much I've